Destin Rivals just came out, and it didn't even withstand the hype building up to it. We're taking a look at products that are single cards and sealed from the Pokemon TCG that are actually going down in price, and the latest set is kind of surprising me. We have a bunch of different products here. There's all sorts of stuff. It's just a filter that I have set in TCG Player, random page. You can start looking through and see stuff as you want to go. All sorts of products on Pokemon and other TCG games and everything you can think of really on TCG Player. Good source to go to. So it has a good set of data. Although I'd say it's a little early for something like this with Destin Rivals coming in at 95 and change. Okay, 96. You put the little shipping on there, we're at 98. So we're $98 on an ETB from Destin Rivals. That's a lot. MSRP is 50, so for it to be at nearly 100 is a little bit tough to deal with right now. However, it just came out, so the sales data put it at about $100, 103 upon release, really, and some of the biggest sales happening there. We should see this go down. We should see this price come way down because while 700, almost 750 of them were sold in that couple day time period, a few days, we have more than double of that available. All right. We have almost 1,500 available sitting here. So if you can all hold your breath for a minute, take a second and wait it out, the prices will have to cool because the supply is outweighing the demand. But I understand I can't control everybody. I can't control anybody. I'm just glad we're not in these crazy FOMO prices, 350, 200, all that, that we saw for Prismatic for a while. And actually, we still are seeing that on Prismatic in a lot of ways. It's come down quite a bit, but we'll take a look here in a second because we do have some of that. The sleeved packs even. 890 is the listing there. No, 745 is actually where we're sitting on the market price. And again, we have 1,842 packs listed right now. And that's immediately, which because the fact is FOMO exists. People buy right when it comes out. They buy early. They want to lock it in. So that scare tactic of will it be available? Oh my gosh. And you get people who are paying these crazy prices on something that's just, it's a regular pack on a regular set, folks. I mean, calm down, right? Calm down. No FOMO. Quit freaking out. And it gets down to now 745 upon release because the availability is somewhat widespread. Yes, there were lines at GameStop. Yes, people were flooding into Target and Best Buy. And yes, everything sells on online in an instant still. But it can't last like this forever. People are leaving the hobby. There are scalpers dipping out. There are streamers who can't deal with getting caught, with their shenanigans anymore, that they actually do have to close down, which is fantastic. Because while there's a lot to offer in the hobby, there are a lot of bad players in the hobby. And it's about time that some of them get the heck out of the way so it can be enjoyed again for the majority of the people, which is the truer group. The majority of the people involved in the hobby really just want to enjoy it honestly. Not go overboard, not be hoarding everything they can get their hands on, not selling it for astronomical prices and being ridiculous about it, but enjoying the pack opening experience, getting the pull, building a deck, playing the game, putting together a collection, focusing on that one Pokemon that means something to them. Whatever it might be in the way you collect, that's what we all want to get back to. And the majority of you out there, that's who you are. That's who I'm speaking to. So we're waiting, we're patient, and we'll hold out because while this is the start of that FOMO drop-off, as it should be, it should go down even further. Will it get to MSRP? I don't know. Maybe. They're going to print this for the next 2, maybe 3 years. So we should be seeing some Destin Rivals out there, folks. It's a main series set. Going into the specialty set, though, Prismatic Evolutions, you'd think is just too crazy to handle. $250 not too long ago. $250 not too long ago, like a week ago. It was just sitting around $250. And it's come down quite a bit for the super premium collection. Pokemon's latest. It's not a UPC, it's built the same way, it's stacked the same way, but they're calling it a super premium collection instead of the Pokemon UPC. Nice steady decline here from the crazy price to the release to now 215, 213 on market. And if we look at some recent sales, 220, 225, 220, 210, 205, 205 down here, 215, 204. Okay, there's some recent good sales data saying this should start coming down. Would I be in on this at $200? No, I don't think so. I don't have one. I didn't get one. I haven't been able to find one. I haven't seen it on the shelf. I haven't come across it online in any capacity in any way. But I don't think this is worth much more than MSRP. I know Prismatic has been pushing well beyond that. So fine. I could probably stretch a little bit and say that this would be a $150 box if the hype continues. But I have hope that they'll keep printing and they'll keep pushing it out and the hype will die down enough that maybe, just maybe, there's a chance to find this at MSRP or pretty darn close to it. Maybe $100 would be, acceptable. But I'd much rather pass on it altogether than to be going crazy on some of these prices. Let's look at a little bit faster. Prismatic Evolutions, while some of that product is coming down, which is great, so are the singles. Look at this coming down here on the Leafeon EX here at $371. I don't have that kind of money, but it is a nice decline here. Going back to Evolving Skies from Sylveon VMAX here. We have recent sales data putting at about $340. Okay, not too bad considering the alt art craze that has been going on. Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer box. It felt like you'd never see this. You had those monster pallets, people standing on stacks of them, those walls that are of ETBs showing up on TikTok and getting everybody crazy and going, what the heck is my problem that I can't find one? And you found 1,243. You know, like what the heck? How is that possible? Well, there's distributors. That's a lot of different backdoor deals, things going on there. But we're down to now 115, 111 it says here, 115 on that lower listing price. So not horrible considering what we've seen with Prismatic Evolutions. Journey Together settling down from being a main series set. Again, it was a lot of hype, but I think it was false hype based on Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolutions, and just Pokemon in general, everything going crazy with Pokemon, that there's no reason that Journey Together needed to be up that high. And guess what? That settled off pretty quickly. The graph here doesn't look very good here at no sales in this time period. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem right that there's no sales. I don't know. If you look at that, oh, look, there are some sales here. And we have a few that are ticking under the $200 range, and even some of the sales data is showing us right at 200, 202, 202, 202, 197 about there, 202. All right, kind of nice to see it getting down there. Below 200 would be nice to have a booster box around. And for the newer ones, that would make sense if that is the case. Pikachu with the gray felt hat. Can you fall any lower? Please get there, because this is one that I would still love to acquire somewhere, somehow. And maybe it's grabbing some sealed stuff and trading it off at a card show to go ahead and get a hold of one of these, because that card has a few different opportunities of meaning to me as a collector, to me as a Pokemon enthusiast and channel, and with the art aspect of it, going into the gray felt hat, the Van Gogh side of things. I have a lot of connections in that way. So it kind of feels like it would be a more special card for me to add to my collection, and I'd like to have that opportunity. There may be an opportunity, but it's nice to see that the price is coming down a little bit, $324 on some recent sales there, and that's where the latest is putting us, $319, $320 right here. Got to be careful. There are a lot of fakes on this one. This one was very fast to put out fakes. Doesn't have a hollow pattern, doesn't have a texture. It's much easier to fake this one, even though the fakes aren't always that great. It's really easy to fake this one in particular, so you got to be careful on that for sure. Charizard EX out of 151. We just had a huge drop of Blooming Waters come about. Did you see that in the past few days? You had the big box stores taking it on and going crazy, lots of them, and a lot of the stores have wised up that they put limits, that there's one product or one of each SKU to each customer as they come in, so that way there's a small filtration of those products out the door. Yes, they sell out within the hour or faster, whatever it might be. However, it gives a little bit across the board to many people, and while that's happening in one store, it's happening in another, and you can't have those people going between or coordinating events of a bunch of big buyouts for a bunch of crazies who sit out there, a day or two in advance camping out for a release of something. So I think stores are finally getting a little wiser that to satisfy their customer base, because people are going to take it personally that, let's say Target, for instance, it really botches the sale of these products, and two people come in and they take everything, and then you got a bunch of customers who are unhappy. Well, guess what? Those are Target customers. Those aren't just Pokemon card customers. Those are Target customers, because when they're in there, maybe they grab a candy bar, maybe they get an energy drink, maybe they got to grab something for the family or whatever while they're there, and it's just easier. So if you can keep them in the store, if you can give them a reason to come back, that would do better for their business. So it does benefit the companies, these big box retailers, to put a little bit of a safeguard in place when selling Pokemon cards on these crazes. And not just these, all of them. I mean, in the 80s, it was Cabbage Patch Kids, it's all over the place, and there's always some new craze. Pokemon's just been one of the bigger ones, more popular ones for, the better part of almost 30 years now. So you got to be smart as a store. Hopefully they're doing that, and I've been seeing it a lot more and hearing about it a lot more. Good decline here on this one, and I don't like my cards going down in value just as much as you don't, but for the better of the hobby. That's what I mean when I say good decline coming down here. I love my Charizard EX. I don't want it to decline. I don't want it to be worthless. But as an enthusiast of the Pokemon hobby and somebody who speaks on the hobby daily, I'd like to see something like this because it gives me hope for those involved in the hobby that they have a chance. There's an opportunity to be able to get in and maybe get that last card they need to master their set. Maybe they get that last artwork of the Charizard they've been really wanting since they got back into the hobby, whatever it is, you know. So we've had a good decline here, kind of leveling off. Maybe we're kind of getting into that solid ground for Charizard EX. This might be the exception where it's not a obvious decline here, but in that $200 range, some of them are showing a little better on some of the listings, so take a look into that. Blooming Waters, again, we had a big drop, so the price should be a big drop. Really wild, crazy stuff here, but you can see a lot of those sales happening here in the past few days of people getting them and listing them while they can get them out for 130, or in this case, 116, or now 110. As you have that supply coming in, the demand is going down, or at least it's being satisfied that the price has to come down to be able to offload it to other people. Magikarp out of Paldea Evolved, a great Pokemon set, and I think this one will stand the test of time as far as the hobby goes. As far as Scarlet and Violet, of the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, Paldea Evolved is the number 2 most expensive box. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought there was something else, but it's 151 is the number 1. Paldea Evolved is number 2, and now I think we're looking at Prismatic Evolutions has slipped into number 3. So Paldea Evolved, Pokemon Center version with that stamped promo of Pikachu, yes, that makes sense. And out of that set, the chase card, the best one by far, even beyond the special illustration rares, is the illustration rare Magikarp out of Paldea Evolved. Good decline here for the hobby, that is. Good decline, getting down to that 190 range, 192, 190 on if you go into this listing here. Pikachu EX, Surging Sparks, the set that'll never die, right? Here we go. We're sitting at a 287 on this one. Nice to see since it's been in the 300s for so long. Good decline there. And a recent card of Articuno from Journey Together. Beautiful, gorgeous artwork here. Love the framing, love the frost, love the color palette. It's all really working on this one, and it's a classic legendary bird. Who wouldn't love it? Good decline from that crazy FOMO, which you're going to see on Destin Rivals, everything in between. That crazy FOMO and a little bit of time lets things cool off. The demand shifts. Other sets coming out. Black Bolt, White Flare, they're on the way, and that means Destin Rivals can't carry the flag forever, so it will cool off. And at $21 right now for that Articuno, it seems a little bit more reasonable for such a beautiful illustration rares, and I think we'll see that in Destin Rivals with some of those cards as well. Quick reminder to all of you, I'm giving away the 3-pack blister from Evolving Skies. All you got to do is go over to this video here, leave an additional comment and like on that video. That's your chance to enter for the 6,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm also giving away 5 Pokemon mystery card lots, and you got to be a part of the channel for your chance to win any one of those prizes. Again, once we reach 6,000 subscribers, and we're climbing pretty well, so I appreciate all the support. You got to make sure you like the video down below, comment on this one, especially for my weekly I Gotta Get You Get It giveaways that I do, and of course subscribe to the channel. It's really that simple. I don't ask for a lot. I do appreciate your support, and I hope you find some value in the information that I dissect for you on a daily basis. Yes, 3 days are shorts, but 4 days are long form videos, and I'm trying to get it out there as much as I can for you and keeping up on the hobby of Pokemon because it's something I enjoy and I get to share my journey with all of you. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.